I hear all the time from young Earth creationists that Jesus taught that the Earth is young, so we must believe the Earth is young or you don't trust Jesus. They even say you are calling Jesus a liar if you say the Earth is old. I got so tired of hearing this that I had to make a video about it. In Matthew 19, some Pharisees asked Jesus about divorce. Mark 10 has a parallel passage as well, but we'll focus on Matthew 19 in this video. Jesus answers in verses 4 and 5, "Have you not read that the one who made them from the beginning, male and female, and said, 'For this reason a man shall leave his father and mother and be joined to his wife, and the two shall become one flesh'?" What is the problem? Well, many fundamentalists say that Jesus is saying that he made humans at the beginning of creation, not after billions of years. Hence, six-day creation is true and evolution is false. Is this actually a problem? No. There are at least 4 ways to address this argument. Let's take a look at them. Number 4 is controversial, so stick around for that. So number 1, when referring to "in the beginning," Jesus may have been speaking idiomatically, and we shouldn't be too technical when reading this verse. That's a legitimate possibility in my view. Number 2 is my preferred answer though. Jesus was referring to Genesis 1 to make a theological point. He was not teaching on the genre of the passage. We can all do this. You can ask me an ethical question, and I could answer by referring to one of Jesus' parables. That doesn't mean I'm claiming the events and people in the parable were historical. Also consider that the way Jesus worded his answer is consistent with him regarding the account as metaphorical. It is what I would expect him to say if he thought it was metaphorical. So let's take a look more closely at what Jesus did exactly in Matthew 19. First, he says, "Have you not read?" What he is doing here is alerting his audience that he is going to pull up a passage of scripture for teaching. Second, he says, "at the beginning," to identify the passages he is going to pull from as Genesis 1 and 2. Third, he quotes the text that is going to provide the lesson. He quotes, "made them male and female" from Genesis 1, and then quotes verse 24 in chapter 2 about becoming one flesh. Fourth, and finally, he provides the lesson in verse 6 of Matthew 19. "Therefore, what God has joined together, let no one separate." Note that Jesus is teaching about marriage, not creation. So we should focus on what Jesus is saying about marriage and be cautious about drawing lessons about creation. Now, number 3 is also a good answer. Jesus simply accommodated. His audience believed in the science of that day, which was recent and quick creation, and Jesus chose to not correct that faulty scientific view because instead he wanted to teach a theological lesson. And accommodation is a real thing. As Dennis Lamoureux points out, God accommodates to each one of us in our prayer life, meeting us where we are in ways we can understand. And accommodation is present in Scripture. In particular, the science in the Bible is always the science of the day it was written, rather than correct science. Now, number 4 is more controversial, and I'm not certain how I feel about it. It has to do with the incarnation. Now, the incarnation is a mystery. Jesus was both God and man, but how that all works is a mystery, and we should resist thinking we understand it fully. Did Jesus know quantum physics when he was 5 years old? I don't think so. Did he know the germ theory of disease when he was 30? I don't know. Complete and perfect knowledge may have been part of what he laid down when he became human. Maybe he only knew what the Father told him, and the Father only told Jesus what Jesus needed to know to accomplish his mission. Did Jesus need to know the age of the earth? Did he need to know the details of creation? Maybe not. So Jesus may not have known the age of the earth. He may have assumed the science of the day. Well, that's it. If you found this video useful, please hit the like button and consider subscribing.